All right, this tutorial is kind of fun. It is about the exponent rules. You could even think about it as operations, exponent operations, okay? So quotient of powers. If you have a number taken to a power and you're dividing it by the same number taken to a different power, then you are going to take that number, leave it alone, and then you will subtract the powers, and it's always A minus B. Okay, I can't reverse these. I have to put them in order of what's on top, what's on the bottom, A minus B. So for instance, if we have 3 to the 5th divided by 3 to the 3rd, that means you're going to leave 3 alone, and you're going to do 5 minus 3, and that gives us 3 squared. Okay, if I'm taking product of powers, some number to the power of A times some number to the power of B means you're going to add the powers together. You're going to leave that number alone, and you're going to add, and you're going to go in the order that's given. So let's say 3 to the 5th times 3 to the 3rd. Well, that means 3 is going to stay the same, and you're going to raise it to 5 plus 3, which is 8. All right, if you're taking a power to a power, so if I have a number raised to the A power and I take all of it raised to the B power, that means I'm going to take that number and I'm going to raise it to the A times the B power. You're going to multiply. So in other words, 3 to the 5th raised to the 3rd power. Notice there are parentheses, so I'm taking all of it. So 3 to the 5th to the 3rd means I'm going to multiply 5 times 3. Again, that big 3 stays the same. And that ends up being 3 to the 15th. If I am taking the power of a product, so if I have two numbers that I'm multiplying together and I raise it to the m power, that means everything inside gets raised to that power, okay? So it's kind of like the distributive property. So if I have 5 times 3 all raised to the 2nd power, that means it will be 5 squared times 3 squared. And obviously, if you need to, you could work out these answers, okay? All right, now, zero exponents. This is something everybody needs to know. Any number raised to the 0 power, no matter how big or little this number is always equal to 1. So for instance, 3 to the 0 power equals 1. 5 to the 0 power, 1. I could have 1 billion raised to the 0 power. That's 1. Okay, it's just a mathematical rule that everyone follows. Now, negative exponents. If you have a number raised to the negative a power, a negative number, in order to make this a positive exponent, I have to take this whole thing and I have to put it under 1. Okay, that forces it to become positive. Now, if I have something like this and I need to simplify it and make it negative, I just rewrite it like this and drop the fraction. So 3 to the negative 5th power is 1 over 3 to the 5th. And obviously you could work that out and get a solution. I hope that helps.